Imagine scrolling through TikTok and seeing a guy your age showing off a stack of cash. He says he made it in a week with a secret crypto method. He's smiling, driving a Lamborghini, and thousands of people are commenting, "How do I join?" It looks real. It feels real. But here's the truth, that video is a trap. In 2022, Americans lost over $8.8 billion to scams like this. And the craziest part? The people who fall for them aren't dumb. They're just human. And the scammers know exactly which buttons to push. You've probably seen these videos yourself, they're designed to make you feel like you're missing out. You might think I'm too young to get scammed. But that's exactly what scammers want you to think. In 2022, the FTC reported that people aged 20 to 29 lost money to scams more often than any other age group. Why? Because you grew up online. You trust what you see on social media. And scammers know that. They make their posts look just like your friends' posts. They use the same hashtags, the same filters, the same music. So when you see a get-rich-quick post from a seemingly normal account, your brain doesn't scream danger. It thinks opportunity. And that split-second trust is all they need. A 2023 study by the Finner Foundation found that young adults were 40% more likely to fall for investment scams than older adults. You've been in this exact situation. You're scrolling through YouTube or Instagram, and you see an ad that says, "I made $10,000 in one day with this simple trick." There's a guy in a suit pointing at a chart. A lot of people scroll past. But some stop. They think, what if it's real? And that's exactly where the trap springs. The problem isn't that people are greedy. It's that the scam looks exactly like a real opportunity. It uses the same tricks real businesses use: testimonials, urgency, limited spots. Your brain can't tell the difference. So you click. And that click is the first step into a maze designed to take your money. The scammer has already studied what makes you trust something online. A lot of people think scams work because victims are stupid or desperate. And that makes sense, because it's easy to say, "I would never fall for that." But the truth is more complex. Scams work because they hijack the same mental shortcuts we use every day. For example, when you see a post with thousands of likes, your brain assumes it's trustworthy. That's called social proof. Scammers buy fake likes and comments to trick you. Also, when an influencer says, "I made this much money," your brain skips the question, "Is this even possible?" and jumps to, "How can I do it too?" This is called the availability heuristic. You focus on the one success story and ignore the thousands of failures. So it's not about IQ. It's about how your brain is wired. A 2021 study by the University of Chicago found that people who were shown fake social proof were 50% more likely to trust a scam website. You might think finance influencer scams are run by some lone genius in a basement. That would make sense, a solo criminal, smart enough to trick hundreds of people. A lot of people imagine a hooded figure typing away in a dark room. But here's the surprising part, most of these scams are run by organized groups. They have teams. One person writes the scripts. Another handles the fake accounts. A third manages the money. They run it like a business. And they use the same marketing strategies as real companies. They A/B test their posts. They optimize their funnels. They even have customer support. The only difference is their product is a lie. In 2023, a group called the Crypto Cartel was busted by the FBI for running a $200 million scam with over 50 employees. Let's look at one real example. In 2021, a crypto scam called Bitcoin Revolution promised users a 1,000% return in 24 hours. It used fake celebrity endorsements from Elon Musk and Richard Branson. The website looked professional. It had fake testimonials, a countdown timer, and a live profit counter. Thousands of people invested. The total losses? Over $100 million. The scam was run by a network of shell companies based overseas. They used paid ads on Google and Facebook to target people. They even had a fake customer support team to answer questions. In a minute I'll show you the coolest part, the one thing almost nobody notices about how they convinced people to trust them. But first, let's break down how the psychological trap works step by step. This works just like a magic trick. First, the scammer creates a setup, a professional website, fake endorsements, and a story that seems too good to be true. Your brain sees the setup and thinks this must be real because it looks real. Second, they apply pressure. They say only 10 spots left or offer ends in 24 hours. This makes you act fast instead of thinking. Your brain's fear of missing out overrides your logic. Third, they use social proof. They show fake testimonials and fake profits. Your brain thinks if so many people are doing it, it must be safe. That's the three-step trap: setup, pressure, proof. And it works because these are the same steps real businesses use. Your brain can't tell the difference. A 2020 study from the Journal of Consumer Research showed that time pressure increases the likelihood of falling for scams by 30%. Here's the part almost nobody notices. The biggest mistake isn't clicking the link or even sending money. It's the moment you start to believe. When you see that influencers post, your brain makes a split-second decision: this is real or this is fake. And the mistake is not questioning that first impression. Scammers know that if they can get you to believe for just 1 second, the rest is easy. That's why they use flashy cars and big numbers. They want that first second to be wow instead of wait. So the real mistake is trusting your gut when your gut is being manipulated. Once you believe, your brain starts looking for evidence to confirm that belief, ignoring red flags. This is called confirmation bias. So how do you protect yourself? It's simpler than you think. Step 1, pause. When you see a get-rich-quick post, don't click. Wait 24 hours. If it's real, it'll still be there. Step 2, verify. Search the influencer's name plus scam. Look for news articles or Reddit threads. If they're legit, you'll find real reviews. If they're a scam, you'll find warnings. Step 3, ask a friend. Tell someone about the opportunity. If they raise an eyebrow, listen. Scams rely on secrecy. The moment you talk about it, the illusion cracks. Follow these 3 steps, and you'll avoid 99% of finance influencer scams. You now know what to look for. And that knowledge is your best defense. A 2022 study by the Stanford Center on Longevity found that people who used a pause and verify strategy were 80% less likely to lose money to scams. Let's recap what we learned. Scams target your psychology, not your intelligence. They use social proof, urgency, and fake endorsements. They're run by organized groups. The biggest mistake is trusting your first impression. And the solution is simple: pause, verify, ask. Now you know how these scams work, and you can explain it to anyone. The key idea is that your brain's shortcuts can be hijacked, but awareness is your shield. 97% of people in this space never figure this out, but now you have the tools to spot the tricks. If you learned something, hit like so more people find this. Comment with a scam tactic you've noticed. And subscribe to stay in the know. Thanks for watching.